Let me see. Adjust the camera a little bit. I need to move this microphone down just a little bit. Now, do I go no weird hair sticking out? Do I wear the scarf? Accessories are good, but sometimes they're distracting and too much. We're not going with the scarf. Keep it simple. Figuring out what to wear is part of your presentation, and you'll want to wear something that's comfortable. We'll get more into that a little bit later. You need to be a confident public speaker. How are you going to do that? By practicing. The more experience you get at this, the better you'll become. You know that. 85% of us are anxious public speakers. We get up in front of that audience and the nerves are running, that cortisol stress hormone is running, and we get caught in our own minds. So 85% of us are anxious, and the rest of us are lying. I love that. The rest of us are lying. We all have anxiety at some level. When you see that nervous speaker, how does that make you feel? Do you feel empathy toward them? You feel as though, wow, I wish I could do something to make them feel relaxed. Do you start feeling a little bit nervous, or do you just feel uncomfortable? Believe me, if you're standing there and you're being anxious, nervous, upset, whatever emotion you feel at that time, your audience at some level is going to feel for you. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes not so good. And if you can't see your audience, you're going to have to trust your gut and trust your own instincts as to how you feel and how you look and how you are viewed by that audience. Great photo, right? How to manage your anxiety. You might feel like that in your head. To start with, find a great time of day where you feel good in order to record your presentation. If you have that luxury and look at it as a luxury, then it's up to you to choose when to do it. Do you want to do it late at night, early in the morning, midday, whenever you find a great time for yourself? When I've recorded my lectures throughout this day, I had to go by lighting, what was behind me, whether or not there were neighbors and noise outside. So I wanted to make sure things were just as controllable as possible. You need to accept that you're going to be a bit anxious. So embrace it. Say, oh, okay, I have got to get through this today. I have this presentation coming up. Accept yourself. Once you do that, then you can be ready for anything that comes at you. Start with the right breathing. That breath comes up from here, and it has to do with your posture, whether standing or sitting. Don't be leaning in on your desk or just jiggling around and fidgeting. You want to be focused and giving yourself the best possible airwave that you can so that your voice is clear and understandable and you're not garbling your words. Start with the right breathing. What's the difference between presentation and just talking to somebody? Conversation is extremely relaxed. Performance is when you are on. You are performing. No matter what else is happening in your day, in your life, you're putting that aside to perform and get to your audience in the most positive way possible. These are just a few notes to help you get started with how you're going to do this short presentation for your team project. Don't distance yourself. Stay in a good frame here in the camera and make sure you have that set up properly. You don't want to be too far back. You don't want to be too far over. You don't want anything that's going to be distracting. When you're in person and you're doing an in-person presentation, you want to be sort of leaning into the audience and welcoming all of the people who are there, whether it's 10 people or 20 people or 100 people. Make sure you have your brief bullet points in front of you. No long sentences, no long paragraphs, just some bullets. That's a couple or maybe 3 words. I've been trying to tell many of you throughout this course, if you write a full sentence on your card, you will read it because you will feel as though, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget. That's why you practice. Write the bullets that you need to write and have them there. You can tape them to the left or right of your camera so that you can see them, and you have the ability to cut and paste or edit your presentation so that you can do it in chunks and then edit the 3 minutes or whatever together if you have the ability to do that. Brief bullet points on a card. Sheets of paper, a napkin from last night's session at the bar, not going to work. Keep it on a small card. This is a 4x6, my favorite. Not too small, not too big. In terms of the words that you choose, you can start with a question. Be engaging. Even though you're talking to a video, you are talking to a person who's receiving your pitch. So talk to them. Be inclusive. Be specific. Use the you view where possible. We recommend, our team recommends that you should or you can consider. Here's how this service will work for you. Here's how this product will work for you. Instead of being academic, you don't want to. The research shows that, and many businesses succeed by, your business can succeed by. You want to be in this moment. You're presenting. This is your time. This is your gig that you can win. Put your game face on every time. Anything that's happening outside of this moment doesn't matter, at least for this time that you are recording your presentation or doing your presentation when live. Choose the best time of day to record. When you feel the best, when you know you're going to be the best. Look at your schedule the next few days ahead and pick the right time to record. Again, your posture is really important, whether sitting or standing. Your airflow is going to be up from that diaphragm and out of your mouth, face, throat, and not be stuck here. So you won't be doing the vocal fry and you'll be just hunched over. Don't do that. You really want to start refining that voice and your presentation. Practice, practice, practice. Slow down. Enunciate those words. Smile when appropriate and relax a little. If you have a couple of pauses, that's okay. If you have to look to your notes, that's okay. You're not going to be penalized for looking at a note. You will be penalized if you're reading or memorizing. I can tell in a second. Play it back. It's hard to look at yourself. It's hard to be your own critic, but you'll have to do that. If you have someone you feel comfortable with and trust, have them look at your presentation. And it's okay to do it again. That's why you need to allow enough time to record, edit, make changes, and do it again. Take 2, take 3, take 4. I've done that when I do these presentations to you. Business casual attire is what you should wear, and we'll talk about that in a moment. You do want to warm up your voice. Have that sip of water. Nothing carbonated, nothing caffeinated. Not good for you. You'll want to just have a sip of water, not a gallon, just a sip. You can even have a sip during your presentation. Not going to hold that against you at all. And sometimes you need to do some voice exercises. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers is one of them. An old one, but a good one. Business casual. Not even on video will a t-shirt, hat, hoodie work. Not at all. Even if you are Justin Bieber. Business casual, collared shirt, a sweater, a vest, that's fine. Practice, practice, practice. This is from my Business Leader Development Program class and one of my students presenting, and they all came in dressed like this. You don't have to do a shirt and tie for the guys, and you don't have to wear your best clothing and jewelry for the ladies. Just be business casual, practice, and good luck.